Alrighty then. Hey, good morning, y'all. I probably really should have worked out this morning, but I didn't. I'm a little sore from yesterday's soft-ass workout. But the game plan is at some point today, I'm probably going to go jog. That's what I want to do today. I want to go jog. So that'll be the workout for today. Take it slow, Joe, getting into this thing. You ain't as young as you once was. All right, hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Tuesday, day after Valentine's Day. Hope you guys had a great day. Not sure when you guys will be seeing this, probably tomorrow. I think I'm actually a video ahead right this second, so that's a good thing. I need something to drink. My mouth is a little parched. Okay, a lot of things to share with you guys as well. Coconut water. So yesterday we would go check out that crack shack of a big old house in Franklin, Virginia. Listed for $35,000 and it needs a full everything. Now, interestingly, they said that this house was a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,800 square feet. I would realize that whoever I was talking to about the house didn't know shit about the house. And what they've done is, because I would message them back later in the afternoon trying to get some more information, like, hey, what happened over here? What's the issue with the vandalism? You know, is the homeless living in this house, the squatters, is that still a thing? And also, what is your position with this house? They just had it listed on Facebook. So they would tell me that they are JVing this wholesale deal with somebody else, joint venturing, meaning they're teamed up with somebody. So somebody else. So if you think wholesaling is a pain in the ass by itself, imagine when you got two of these bottom feeding leeches, as I like to refer to them as, doing this together, right? I don't like wholesalers. I think that they're in the way. I think that their tactic will eventually become illegal. To basically go try to find a house, put a contract on that house, like a promise to pay basically, is exactly what it is. You know, they say, okay, you want to sell your house for $10,000? I'm going to help you sell it like a realtor, except they're not licensed. And you know, in every state, you have to be a licensed realtor, right? Like, so I don't know how the wholesaling gets around that. But some kind of a way it does. So they say, okay, you want to sell your house for $10,000? I'm going to help you do that. So then they list the house for $20,000. But then there's another person who says, hey, I want to get a piece of this action as well. Okay, yeah, sure, I can help sell the house. So let me wholesale your wholesale deal. You can see how this could probably get quite confusing, right? Prices go up, whatever. I'm not opposed to getting a house from a wholesaler, but that doesn't mean that I have to have any type of moral respect for them, which I really don't. Don't get me wrong. I know that there's money in it. Hell, if I could do it, if I was doing it, I'd feel a totally different way. I can promise you that. But I'm not, and I don't. Not right now, at least. So, I would try to reach out to the wholesaler's wholesaler, and I wouldn't get no response from that person. But I will try to get in contact with that person more today. We'll see. I got a lot of different balls in the air, proverbially speaking. Also, today is auction day. There's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath townhouse, or maybe it's a 3-2. No, it's a 3 1.5. It's 1,100 square feet. It's in bad news. It's going up for auction. It's at auction right now. It's an online auction that lasts for 2 days. This thing opened up at $25,000. They say the ARV, the after repair value of this property, is $90,000. As soon as the auction started, it went straight to $35,000, folks. Right now, this thing is at $60,500. And I just can't get jiggy with that. I wasn't in this auction at all, but I wanted to watch it. I can't get jiggy with it, right? Because if the after repair value is only $90,000, best case scenario, $100,000. You're into this thing for probably, safe bet, $70,000. I think this auction is going to end at $70,000 or $75,000. Let's just say $75,000. Make the number easy. Best case scenario is $100,000 return. Well, to flip this, you got $25,000 of wiggle room, meaning you got to be able to get your repairs done, your upgrades done in that property for well underneath $25,000 in an effort to try to sell that to see any type of return. Now, there's two other scenarios to this. One, let's say you buy the property for $75,000. If the ARV is 90 grand, just put that damn thing right back up on the market for 80,000, which I don't even know if that would be worth it, because once you pay closing costs, that's gonna be tough right there. It's gonna be tough to see any type of a profit. My first thought was to immediately resale it if you can get it for a cheap enough price. That way you don't even have to do a flip. That's one option. But another option is if you buy the property too high and you can't come in underneath that ARV to see a good enough profit doing the flip, well then you absolutely have to turn that thing into a rental property for at least a year or two to recoup some of that investment cost before you can even think about doing the flip. I ain't trying to play the long game, not right this second. So that's just my personal take on that particular property. And some people are looking at these properties for different reasons. I'm looking at it for a flip. Another guy could be looking at it like, shit, I'll pay a little bit more. I'll rent it out for 5 years. It ain't hurting me none. Matter of fact, it's a way for me to get some of this money up off of me, put it into some sort of diversified investments for some sort of tax benefits. If you got it like that, you can think like that. I don't, so I can't. Just sharing a little morning fat to chew over. What y'all doing out here? Good doggies. Keep an eye on them. There's also another auction taking place later on this afternoon. I hope I'm able to make it to that auction. It's for the one house that we went and looked at the other day that I wasn't able to go inside of. I just looked around the outside of it. I want to go to this auction. I want to have my ducks in a row, but I don't know that I would pull the trigger on this because the price is probably going to get too high. I think I've done the math on it. I do have, so it's a 3.2, 1,400 square foot property, probably gonna need everything. If you think it's gonna need everything, you're looking at probably around $80,000 in renovations. And this property could turn around and sell for $215, maybe $225 on the high side. So you gotta be able to get this property for right around $130, $140. You really can't even do that. $130. Putting 80 into it, you're already into it for $210. To think about turning around and selling that thing for $225, I'm just curious to see what that house is gonna go for. Now, if the auction gets to like 70 grand and nobody's going for it, let me tell you something. I might jump on it then. In order to do these courthouse step auctions, one thing that you have to do is you have to come with money. You gotta come with cashier's checks. And it's a good idea to come with, $5,000 increments of cashier's checks. I'm thinking about just going there, even if I'm not gonna get into the auction, just to be taken serious. Hey, here I am right here. I'm the new sheriff in town, right? At least trying to be, to a certain degree. So there's that. One final thing before this day takes us wherever this day is gonna take us, and this is the big one, right? You wanna go back out there, Bunny? What's she doing? I don't know how, I don't know why. Well, I do know why, and I do know how. Yesterday, I would inquire for a second time about this truck that I'm really interested in. And I inquired the first time, nobody got back to me. Well, I inquired the second time, and they would call me. So when they called me, I was a little... I really want the truck. I can start by saying that. I think I deserve the truck, and not to be like egotistical or nothing like that, but for the love of God, like I see people driving these nice ass trucks, and I think to myself, I should be driving that. If you want to be taken serious as anything, whether it's in, the real estate game or flipping or whatever, man, you got to look the damn part. When I was pushing that little Tesla around, I was looking the part. But I'm pushing my 2008 Dodge Ram, which is a nice enough truck. All of the grease fittings need grease. We've tried to grease the truck up, but the problem is some of these grease fittings you can't reach without taking shit apart to get to them. It's the craziest situation there. So when I'm riding around in this squeaky ass truck, pulling up to properties, probably looking like Bobo the Clown or Sanford and Sons, will somebody take me as serious pushing that as they would seeing me pull up with that next to brand new F-250 Lariat edition? I think to myself, like, my investor slash mentor friend you know, when they come down here, I don't want to have them riding around with me in this hoopty of a truck. That's my work truck. You know, it may not make much sense, the rationale that I'm using with this, but the short of it is this is my dream truck, this F-250 diesel Lariat. The bitch is, it's a 2020, it's got 10,000 miles on it. It's a beautiful, beautiful truck. So yesterday I would end up on the phone with the dealership where this thing is at, which ironically enough, it's at a Porsche and Audi, very reputable dealership in my local area. And one thing that they've got all over their lot is brand new Range Rovers. I even briefly contemplating going and getting one of those. But I can't pull a trailer with the Range, right? I gotta have the truck. Think about getting that joint wrapped. Joe does stuff. Can you imagine? Hey, that joint, hey, that might be pretty slick. Joe buys houses. So for the third time, I inquire about the truck. I end up on the phone with this guy yesterday. And the first question that I asked him was, one, why is this truck still available? And he said, hey, that's a really good question. Somebody was gonna get it. They, you know, it shouldn't be available. Somebody was gonna get it, but they ended up getting cold feet. That's okay. That makes sense. So anyways, again, this truck at this Audi and Porsche dealership, like, why is this truck there? Did somebody trade this in for the Range? Maybe. The Audi truck? Maybe. Whatever, it's a pristine vehicle. I am a little concerned about, you know, if I did get this, where would I get this thing serviced at? They can't do the servicing for a freaking diesel truck. They're gonna have to send it down the street to Ford, I imagine. And, you know, trust me, this thing comes with a hell of a, you know, warranty on it. 2020, 10,000 miles on this joint. Ford factory lift on this thing. It is, God, a very, very clean looking truck. So anyways, while on the phone with this dude yesterday, you know, he would ask me how serious I was about it. And of course, I was very serious. So I wanted to immediately just begin the credit application just to see if it was possible. So he does all of that. He takes my information. He's like, what do you do for a living? I'm trying to explain that. Trying to explain, hey, look, man, I've bought houses. I've bought Teslas. Granted, this is quite a bit more money than the Tesla. The out the door price on this truck is $81,000. So dude does my credit. And I'm a little skeptical about that. And I even tell the guy, I say, hey, look, my credit is probably like a 630 to a 680. My bank tells me it's a 680, but Credit Karma tells me it's a 630. So I know I'm somewhere in the middle right there. I got nothing derogatory on my credit. I said, and I've made all payments. I've bought and sold houses. I've done $400,000 houses, bought and paid off by selling them. So, you know, my credit should speak for itself. The only thing bad on my credit is a little bit of high utilization, which I'm getting ready to tap all that shit down. Getting ready to tap all that down. Dude runs my credit and he comes back and he tells me, well, he sends me the numbers, right? And when he sends me the numbers, I'm like, I'm getting this truck. Straight up, I'm getting this truck. Now, mind you, it's a little crazy, okay? An $80,000 truck, you know, when your credit's not the greatest. He was also like, how much you willing to put down? I said, I'll put $5,000 down on it. So I can get it for 60 months at a 7.49% interest rate, which is crazy, for $1,500 a month. Insane price to pay for a vehicle, right? But then I noticed, and I was ready to run with that. I was like, shit, let's go. Hey, let's go. I already know these trucks is a mortgage payment. I already know. But then I saw that I could stretch it out for 72 months at an 8.99% interest rate. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine how much interest I'm gonna pay on this thing? For $1,300 a month. Now, granted, it's only a $200 difference for a lot more interest, but I said, shit, give me the 13. Let me get that. Because what I'm gonna do is, I'm either one, gonna keep the truck for a year, then refinance it after I get my credit back down, or two, I'm gonna sell it in a year. And let me tell you something, I ain't gonna be dogging that truck like my work truck. I'm probably gonna keep my work truck. And this joint's 2 Bitcoins I'm riding around in. So I'm gonna treat it like the investment that it is. And worst case scenario is if I end up completely underwater some kind of a way, well, guess what? I'll sell it. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, Joe, the market is so crazy right now for vehicles. Vehicles are so high. Yeah, you're right. And there is the potential that the market could even out, and then the truck only becomes worth $50,000. Maybe that happens. I don't know. This joint got the Ford factory lift on it. This truck will always be on the higher side of the evaluation. Worst case scenario is I get the truck and then down the road I realize, man, this is just way too much truck. It's a diesel. It's a 6.7 Power Stroke turbo diesel, some shit. Like I don't even know nothing about a diesel vehicle. Worst case scenario is I get it and I have fun with it for a little while and I trade it in. Oh, but anyways, deeper than that, right? So he gives me those numbers. I'm like, holy shit, I'm good to go. Boy, hey, Joe gonna be pushing P for real. I don't know what pushing P is. I think that means like cool. It's some new term that came out on TikTok I saw. Yeah, it doesn't mean like pushing powder or anything like that. I don't think it does. So I was like, damn, Joe gonna be pushing this joint. We was at dinner last night, me and my wife, Valentine's dinner. I sent that $5,000 over the down payment on the truck. I was like, boy, hey, tomorrow Joe gonna be like this. Tell me why in the middle of the night I get a text back from this guy telling me, good evening, Joseph. I am updating you. Right now we are still working on getting you approved for financing. I should receive another update for you tomorrow morning. What? I thought it was already approved when you were sending me those quotes. I guess I wasn't though, right? So, damn, it's bright out there. There's a slight potential, maybe a little larger than slight potential, that they got my hopes up for. Or no, they didn't get it because this has nothing to do with them. This is just me and my credit. I got my hopes up for nothing. I sort of feel like one of those TikTok videos from the car dealerships. I saw one this morning, as a matter of fact. This guy walks up to another guy in the dealership and he says, hey, what happened with that customer you just had? And the guy says, 2 months on the job, 3 repos, and trying to put $500 down on a brand new Palisade. I called the police and had him arrested. I kind of feel like they're probably laughing at me behind this type of a deal. It's pretty much the same thing. $5,000 for an $80,000 vehicle is probably like trying to put $500 down on it. But we'll see. Hey, I'm supposed to go meet these folks at 11 o'clock this morning. It's 10:30 right now. They've already got my $5,000. And I'm a little worried, a little, shy, I guess, thinking, I don't know if I really want to be going to a Porsche, Audi, Range Rover dealership, bringing all y'all along. Come on, hey, boy, we ain't never been here before, feeling like Beverly Hillbillies going up in this joint. I told the dude I'm embarrassed to even come up there with my truck. I mean, I am. Just to walk in the front door and then be like, excuse me, sir. There's no party here. What party? Try the house down the street. You've been denied, declined, rejected, and get the fuck out of our store. I told my wife this morning, I said, if that does happen, well, everything happens for a reason. Joe doesn't really deserve to be driving a truck like so many other folks driving these trucks. Just think to yourself, is everybody driving that truck really bout it for real? Probably, because that's a damn expensive truck. But only time's gonna tell how today's gonna play out with all of these things that I've shared with you guys. I got so much more to share with you, but we'll just leave it here for the time being and see where today is gonna go. All right, 12:42 in the afternoon and getting pulled in a whole bunch of different directions. So, first thing to share with you guys is I haven't heard anything back from this dealership on this truck. Now, I think that that's kind of crazy because I was supposed to be there at 11 o'clock. I gave them $5,000. They gave me this quote or whatever of, what the payments were going to look like, all that good stuff. And then I would text first thing in the morning. I wouldn't hear anything back on that. And then I would call and catch the dude in the car on the way there at like 11:39 is when I called him. So if I was going to be there at 11, I was going to be sitting there waiting for, this dude to show up who obviously didn't show up till almost 12. And it's funny because he was like, well, I'm going to be in tomorrow at 12. I said, well, can you meet me there at 11 so that, it would be a little more helpful to me. If you're making a sale on a $80,000 truck, or I guess if you're making the sale, you're going to be there. But if you're feeling like you're probably not going to make the sale, then you won't be. Long story short, I called the guy at 11:39, I said, hey, what's the deal? I got this text from you saying that, you know, you're still trying to get me approved last night. Matter of fact, there he goes right there. Hello.
Hey, Joseph, it's Esteban here.
Hey, how you doing?
It looks like I just missed your phone call. I'm doing well. So, I followed up with my finance manager, and so I guess my next question is, do you have any more income coming in? Does your debt to income ratio is what's kind of like halting us at the moment?
I guess what I want to know is I want to just figure out, am I denied? Like, is that where we're at?
So between the two, yes.
How are you going to tell me I'm approved for a car, take my $5,000 down payment, show me a breakdown of what I'm going to be paying per month with an APR, and then tell me that it's leaning toward yes when I ask, am I declined? And it's not because of credit. Well, I guess it is because of my debt to income ratio, when I guess it makes sense, right? Guess it makes sense. So it's 1:42 in the afternoon. I've literally been twiddling my thumbs all day, feeling like confused. Like, what am I doing? Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the wrong thing? Should I be doing 10 other things? And I probably should. So there's an auction taking place in another city this afternoon at 3:30 that I really want to go to. I was going to get a proof of funds, which I've got a proof of funds to go out to this thing. Man, I just don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I'm going crazy. And kind of at this point, I'm just ready to say, forget this whole experience. This has been, you know, not good, but nobody's fault but my own. You know, maybe I was overreaching, overzealous, whatever. No pity party about it. It's what it is. But I don't like the fact that I'm getting strung along. For what? It should be a clear-cut yay or nay. Just tell me yay or nay. Is the waiting because you're trying so hard to get me into this truck and to make this deal happen? Which I would end up telling the guy on the phone, hey, look, if you want to sell this truck, make this deal happen. The only thing that you can say is that my debt to income ratio is a little off when I just threw a monthly number out there, which is pretty correct from one source of income. He said, do you have any other income? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, of course I do. Of course I do, but whatever. YouTube is not going to allow me to buy this truck. That much seems evident, but whatever. I am aggravated at the fact that my whole day has been kind of held hostage to this. I can go one direction and go to the auction or go get the truck, which is totally in a different direction. But aside from that, we're going to have a rejection sooner than later. And if it is the rejection, let's just hurry up and get it over with. Hurry up and get it over with and give me back my damn money. Like, I gave you a $5,000 deposit. You showed me what my monthly payments were going to be with a 9% APR. I was like, okay, cool, let's just do it. But it was all smoke and mirrors because now I guess nobody wants to finance me. Maybe I'm high risk. I'm a flight risk. Sort of like trying to get bond in a jail. Isn't that ironic? Moving on. Hey, look, I had an opportunity to speak with the wholesaler about that mini mansion part 2 is what I'm referring to that house as. Wiggle room on the price. Vandalism as recent as just last month. Somebody was trying to break into that house. Kids from the railroad tracks throwing stones at a glass house, breaking out all of the windows, is the story that I would hear in relation to what was going on there. Squatters has been a problem. And I think to myself, this house is it's about an hour away from me. So every day that we go there, we will never know what to expect. How crazy will that be? I'm sure we'll run across somebody in the house if we end up getting it. But like I said, there is wiggle room on the price. You know, this house could probably be gotten for like 20 grand. It probably needs 120,000. I can't even imagine what it would cost to put HVAC in that property. But while speaking with the guy who's got the wholesale contract on this property, he seemed like a pretty sensible guy. One way that you can tell whether or not a wholesaler has their and he's not even a wholesaler, he's got rental, he does houses. He's like, hey, look, I got rental properties. He was like, I just happened to be wholesaling this house. But one way you can tell whether or not a wholesaler is about their salt is if they have a title company that they use to handle their double closing, because that's what it's going to be. A closing between them and the seller and me and the seller, basically. So he does, and that's a good thing. But also real quick, I want to show you this. Folks, feast your eyes on this thing right here. This is another property that he has available, and guess what this is? This is a rooming house right here that supposedly is fully occupied. There's 6 people living in this house paying $500 a month. This joint is bringing in $3 grand a month. They want $145 for this. That right there, folks, seems pretty ideal. Almost too good to be true, to be honest, because 6 people in there paying $500 a month. They all work across the street at the shipyard. The property is being sold for $145. The ARV on that is supposedly $265, saying that it needs about 30 grand in renovations. Yeah, right, it probably needs way more than that. You tell me 30, I say 60, maybe even more. They also say the property can be sold as is with the tenants there, or it can be vacated and sold empty. And I'm like, damn, if there ain't something to that right there. I don't like the fact that it sits right next to another brick structure, maybe some sort of an apartment building, but keep it as a rooming house. You know, maybe. So that just popped up through this this wholesaler guy who says he's got some rental properties. Maybe this is his property. I don't know. But definitely pretty interested in it. I feel like I'm going in 4 different directions, and I have no idea what the hell I'm doing or what I should be doing. But one thing's for certain. I'm damn sure getting so close to just calling this dealership and just saying, hey, look, let's just go ahead and go our separate ways. It's not you. It's me. Literally, it is me. I'm the one that can't qualify for this vehicle. And even if, you know, they some kind of miraculous way luck up to get me in this thing, do I even want it? Should all of this be assigned for me to just say, Joe, walk away? What are you doing? Probably is, right? All right, that's all I got. We'll update again soon. Well, I ain't gonna live like this no more. Most of my life's been flat broke and poor and something. All right, 2:30 in the afternoon. Really wish y'all could have been a fly on the wall. 2:26 in the afternoon for that phone call that I just had with the Porsche Audi dealership about that F-250. I said, hey, you know, what are we doing, man? Oh, well, we're still waiting. We're still waiting to hear back from a lender. You've ran my credit 4 fucking times. And it's not that my credit's bad, it's that my debt to income ratio is not matching up, right? So anyways, I said, hey, look, man, I bought a few different cars off of lots, and it's been right like that, the approval process. So obviously, this ain't gonna happen. Just go ahead and refund me my money. How long is that gonna take? Oh, 3 to 5 days. I said, you know what's funny is you guys will take my money immediately, but let me say I want a refund, and it's 3 to 5 days, right? Which it better be. Oh, it better be. So maybe they call me and they say, hey, guess what, Joe? Turns out we got it. We figured it out. You're in the truck. And I don't even want it no more. Like the experience it's not a good experience anymore. The luster has worn off and fuck it. I don't even need the truck. I don't deserve the truck, right? Now I feel in my feels. I'm not even gonna worry about a vehicle. Just gonna drive the Dodge till I blow the fucking motor in that damn thing. Whatever. So I was gonna go out to the auction for the brick house, but why bother? I'm not gonna buy the house. I really just wanted to go out there to network and fuck it. I'll be able to see what that house sells for because I'm following that house, so I'll be able to see what it sells for. The townhouse with the ARV of 90, guess what that was up to just a little bit ago? $72,000. There's no wiggle room, no wiggle room. So I think I'm gonna go for a little drive, man. Go drive the Dodge, humble myself, and that's it. That's where I'm gonna leave today. Unless anything drastic happens, like they do call me back trying to say that I'm good, but again, don't even want it. It's a done deal. And that shit's a shot to the pride though, I ain't gonna lie. No derogatory marks. I make all my payments. Fuck the credit utilization. I pay all my shit. And to be honest, I'm whole again. I got the money back from the flip. I'm good. And I kept saying, look, I can come up there in my boxers and buy that bitch in cash, which I don't want to do, but just how the you're gonna deny me, man? But what I was gonna say was, oh yeah, I'm about to pay down a bunch of my credit debt. I'm putting like 10 grand toward debt. So he said, you got $20,000 in debt. not to mention my mortgage. I said, okay, the hell does that matter? I pay everything. Chunk payments, but whatever. Sorry about this one, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this. I do apologize if I was bitching. I definitely didn't want to do that. I wanted a truck, you know? And it's crazy because last night I was approved. Everything in my mind, I was like, holy shit, I just got a new truck without even having it yet. I almost started posting pictures of it. Thank God I didn't do that. I'll talk with you guys again tomorrow and share more. Tomorrow will definitely be a better day than this one. Definitely gonna be a better day. Talk soon.
Well, I ain't gonna live like this no more. Trouble comes when the barmaid pours another for a man who should have found the door. Well, when I get going, you can hear me roar, and I know I can't live like this no more.